Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I will continue chapter 9 differentiation, lecture 1 of 5, part 3.
(9.2) Rule of differentiation. The basic rule. Number 1, if f(x) equals to k, then f prime x is equals to 0. K is a constant. Number 2, if f(x) equals to x to the power of n, then f prime x equals to n times x to the power of n minus 1. Take a look here that n is bring in front, then multiply with x, then the power for n is minus 1. Number 3, if f(x) is a constant k times x minus 1, then f prime x is equals to k multiplied by n x, and the power is n minus 1. Okay, the differentiation of a constant. If k is any real number, the derivative of f(x) is k is 0. For example, number 6, find the derivative of f(x) equals to 8, f(x) equals to 0.73, f(x) equals to 33. For these three functions, f prime x is equals to 0. Okay, because 8, 0.83 and 33 are constant k. Number 2, the derivative of a function of the form f(x) equals to x to the power of n. So what is n? N is a real number. The derivative of f(x) equals to x to the power of n is f prime x equals to n multiplied with x to the power of n minus 1. Okay, you have to bring in front n, and the power for x you have to minus 1. Okay, let's do example A. D dx x to the power of 4. So differentiate x to the power of 4. So the answer is 4, bring in front, multiply with x, and the power for x must 4 minus 1. So the answer is 4 times x to the power of 3. Okay. B, differentiate, or d dx means differentiate. What is the differentiation of 3 to the power of x squared? So we simplify. You have to write d dx. It's not dy dx. D dx 3 multiply with x to the power of negative 2. You have to bring x upward to be negative 2 here to apply the rule given. Okay, so the answer is 3, you have to multiply with negative 2, x to the power of negative 2, you have to minus 1. So the answer is negative 6, x to the power of negative 3. Okay, or simplify to get negative 6 over x to the power of 3. Okay, what about C? D dx differentiate 1 over x, so change to x to the power of negative 2, and the answer is negative 2 x to the power of negative 2 minus 1, negative 3. Then you simplify negative 2 over x to the power of 3. And last one, differentiate third x. So differentiate third x means differentiate x to the power of half. So the answer is half, bring in front, x to the power of half, you have to minus 1. So the answer is half times x of to the power of negative 1 over 2. Then simplify to get 1 over 2. you have to bring x as to be the denominator, so x to the power of half. Okay, number 3, the derivative of a function of the form fx equals to k to the power of x to the power of n. Okay, if given a function in the form of fx equals to k x to the power of n, k and n is a real number, the derivative is k to the power of k times n x to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so A, if given fx equals to 5x, so f prime is equals to 5. B, if given fx equals to negative x to the power of 12, so f prime x equals to negative of 12, bring in front 12, multiply with x to the power of 12 minus 1. So the answer is negative 12 x to the power of 11. Okay, what about C? The function is hx, so when you differentiate, it will be h prime x. H prime x is equals to 3, you have to multiply with 3 pi. 3 pi is also a constant. Then you have to multiply with x to the power of 3, you have to minus 1. So the answer is 3 times 3, 9 pi, multiply with x to the power of squared. Okay. D, given gx equals to 5 over 3 x to the power of 4. So what is g prime x? G prime x is equals to 5 over 3 is a constant. X to the power of 4, you have to bring 4 in front, times x to the power of 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the answer is 20 over 3 x to the power of 3. Okay. Okay, last one. Given mx equals to 12 over zx. So what is m prime x? M prime x is equals to, before that you need to simplify mx like this. 12 multiply with, bring x in front, therefore x to the power of negative 1 over 2. Therefore m prime x equals to 12 multiply with, and you have to bring in front negative 1 over 2, multiply with x to the power of negative 1 over 2, you have to minus 1. Therefore m prime x equals to negative 12 over 2 is 6, x to the power of negative 3 over 2. Then you need to simplify to eliminate the negative here, so we get negative 6 over x to the power of 3 over 2. Or you can write as negative 6 over zx to the power of 3. Okay.
Okay, now the derivative of a sum or difference of function. So we call it sum or different roots. So if u in terms of x and v in terms of x, where both are a function, are differentiable functions, and the derivative of fx equals to ux plus vx equals to f prime x equals to u prime x plus v prime x. Same goes if we have any function that we have two functions that subtract, so ux minus vx. So the differentiate, when we differentiate the function, so we got u prime x minus v prime x. Okay, so this example, so we need to try this example. So we have fx equals to 2x squared minus 5 zx. Okay, so first we change z in terms of power. So we know that z is equals to power of 1 over 2. So we have 2x squared minus 5x power of 1 over 2. Okay, so we differentiate fx, so we got f prime x 2 times 2 equals to 4, and then x power minus 1, so we got x power of 1 minus 5 times 1 over 2, so we got 5 over 2, and then x 1 over 2 minus 1, so we got negative 1 over 2, and then because of the power is negative, so we bring it down, so we have 4x minus 5 over 2zx. Okay, so this is the answer. Example 5b, we have gx equals to 3x cubed plus 1 over 2x squared minus 4 over root of 4x. Okay, so this one, if you can remember the in this topic, so 4 over root of 4x is same as 4 over x power of 1 over 4. Okay, because of this is we need to differentiate this type of function, which is in terms of fraction, so we have to bring it up, so it becomes negative power. Okay, remember, so we have x cubed plus 1 over 2x squared minus 4 x power of negative 1 over 4. Okay, this is gx, and then we need to differentiate this, so we have g prime x equals to differentiate x cubed, so we will get 3x squared plus, so 1 over 2 multiply with 2, so we got 1, then x 2 minus 1 is 1 power of 1 minus 4 times 1 negative 1 over 4, it become positive because here is minus times with minus, so it become positive. 4 times 1 over 4, it becomes 1, and then x power of negative 1 over 4 minus 1. It's actually 1 here is equals to 4 over 4 when we want to equate the denominator of the fraction. So negative 1 over 4 minus 4 over 4, so it becomes this 1 multiplied with x, so it does not change anything, and then x power of here negative 1 over 4 minus 1, or negative 1 over 4 minus 4 over 4, it becomes negative 5 over 4. So because of the power is negative here, so we have to bring it back into the denominator, so it becomes 3x squared plus x plus 1 over x power of 5 over 4. So this is the last answer. Okay, in other way, if you don't want this type of power, you want to write down something like this that will give the same meanings, so we can just write down x power of 5 root of 4. This is the same things. Okay, this is the same thing, so you can write down x power of 5 over 4 or x power of 5 root of 4. Same, yeah? Okay.